covers from curling and then baked in the oven at a low heat to kill the germs because you don't know where they've been. This might sound extreme to modern readers, but these were the days before the common availability of antibiotics. The first crime fiction I recall reading from among those tattered volumes were the courtroom-based investigations of attorney Perry Mason, written by Earl Stanley Gardner, himself a lawyer. Gardner's books are economically written by today's standards, but this does not make them short stories, as generally understood. I came to include short stories among my reads much later. I don't recall either my mother or grandmother reading magazines, where most short stories were to be found, so I had no memory guide to help in my own efforts when I began to write them myself, except perhaps in one respect for which I must thank all those Perry Mason yarns. Whatever is going to happen, it has to happen fast. Creating a short story is a tricky business. Those who have never tried their hand at it sometimes imagine it must be so much easier than writing an entire novel of any kind. This is far from the case, because of the concise nature of the narrative. Like a novel, the short story must have a beginning, middle, and an end. There is no room for the plot to wander off down side alleys and meander its way back to the main narrative. Every word must be relevant. The characters, too, must step off the page as real people. There is no time to get to know them. The reader must feel he or she recognises them at once and can believe in them. Some of them may strike the reader as pleasant, others as sinister, and new acquaintances may not be what they first seem. For the writer, there is little or no room for error, and the way is strewn with pitfalls. The writer can't take refuge in passages of description. There just isn't space. But the author still has to paint a picture and give the characters depth. Some of the stories in this present volume are longer than others, because they were originally written to be magazine serials. The serial presents a few different challenges. The writer has more space to tell the story, but can't tell it all at once. So each episode has to form a satisfactory whole, but leave the reader wanting to know what happens next. Sitting down to create a short story is not unlike opening a trinket box and beholding a colourful heap of assorted objects, each representing a character or element in your story. You pick the ones you need and set them down on a chessboard of the imagination. They are all at a crucial point in their lives, and their fate is in your hands. No wonder some of them look a little worried. But for the writer, it can be quite a power trip. I enjoyed writing these brief tales. I hope you enjoy listening to them. Sadly, there are fewer opportunities today for publishing short stories. Magazines are no longer on the lookout for them as they once were. I would therefore like to thank my agent, Isabel Dixon, for believing these tales could be gathered together in book form, and to express my gratitude to my editor at Headline, Claire Foss, for taking up the idea and making it come to pass, seeing the book through to publication. So, I raise a glass at the reunion to all the old friends who people these tales. They raise a glass in return. They like a wee dram or a glass of sherry. "Really good to see you again," they call out. "Happy memories." And, hopefully, "Haven't you worn well?" Anne Granger. A lady should avoid murder. Amongst Jane Pritchard's childhood memories was a book. It had belonged to her grandmother and been entitled Everything a Lady Should Know. Everyone can recall seminal reading of long ago, and the venerable handbook had fascinated young Jane. Embellished with pictures of a smirking lady writing little notes or embarking on a visit in hat and gloves, it advised the reader on the correct response to every conceivable situation in which the unsuspecting